What if the biggest retirement fear you have is based on the wrong number? You may think your portfolio has to replace your entire income the moment you stop working. But that is not how retirement income usually works. Social Security shows up. Payroll taxes disappear. Work-related costs fade. And suddenly, the amount your savings actually need to cover may be much smaller than the number in your head. So why do so many retirees still feel broke even when their net worth keeps rising? The answer is hidden inside one number most people never calculate. That number is not your net worth. It is not your old salary. It is not even the balance in your 401k. The number that changes everything is your real spending gap. Because retirement does not ask one simple question. How much money do you have? It asks a sharper question. After every other income source shows up, how much does your portfolio actually need to provide? That difference sounds small. It is not. It can be the difference between believing you need $1,750,000 and realizing the real number may be closer to $1 million. It can be the difference between working 3 extra years out of fear and retiring with a plan. It can even be the difference between spending your healthiest retirement years cautiously watching a balance or actually using the money you spent decades building. Start with the way most men think about retirement. You're 65. The paycheck stops. The company match stops. The automatic contributions stop. And in your mind, retirement becomes a slow leak. Every dinner, every trip, every medical bill, every repair around the house feels like it is coming straight out of the pile you built. That is why the portfolio balance becomes emotional. It is no longer just a number. It feels like your safety, your independence, your margin for error. But that emotional picture leaves out the structure. Let's say you expect to spend $70,000 a year in retirement. That is the number in your head. That is what life costs. So naturally, you assume your portfolio needs to generate $70,000 a year. But then Social Security enters the picture. The estimated average monthly Social Security benefit for all retired workers in January 2026 is $2,071 according to the Social Security Administration. For many households, Social Security can cover a meaningful part of annual spending before the portfolio is touched at all. So if your household spending target is $70,000 and Social Security covers $42,000 of that, your portfolio is not starting from $70,000. It is starting from $28,000. Then you add the things that still need to be accounted for. Maybe healthcare costs run around $8,000. Maybe taxes on withdrawals and other income add another $4,000. Now the real equation looks like this. $70,000 minus $42,000 plus $8,000 plus $4,000. That gives you a real gap of $40,000. Not $70,000, $40,000, and that number changes the entire retirement picture. Using a simple 4% withdrawal framework. A $70,000 annual withdrawal implies a portfolio of about $1,750,000, but a $40,000 gap implies about $1 million. That is a $750,000 difference created by one calculation, not a better investment, not a secret stock. Not a perfect market forecast, just a more accurate question. This is why some retirees can stop working and still watch their net worth grow. Their portfolio is not being asked to carry the entire lifestyle. It is only being asked to cover the part that remains after the rest of the retirement system does its job. And that system changes more than people expect. The first change is spending. Work is expensive in ways you do not always notice while you are working. Commuting costs disappear. Work clothes fade out. Lunches, professional expenses, and random convenience spending often drop. The biggest one is payroll tax. If you were an employee, 7.65% was coming off the top for Social Security and Medicare taxes. Once wages stop, that payroll tax disappears. Then there are retirement contributions. For decades, you may have been sending money into a 401k every month. In retirement, that outflow stops. The thing you were feeding is now the thing supporting you. That is why someone can spend $85,000 before retirement and find that the same lifestyle only needs $62,000 afterward. Not because life got smaller, not because you suddenly became cheap, But because the working version of your life had costs attached to it that retirement no longer requires. That is the irony. You were not just saving for retirement. You were also paying for the privilege of working. The second change is guaranteed income. Social Security is not a bonus. It is an income layer you paid into for decades. And when it begins, it creates a floor under your retirement. It does not move exactly like your portfolio. It does not require you to sell shares during a down market. It shows up month after month. That floor matters psychologically as much as mathematically. Because if your basic spending is partly covered before your investments are touched, market volatility feels different. A bad quarter is still unpleasant, but it is not automatically a crisis. You are not looking at your portfolio and asking it to do every job at once. The third change is taxes. During your peak earning years, you may have been paying federal income tax, state income tax, payroll tax, and making retirement contributions out of every paycheck. In retirement, the composition of income changes. Payroll taxes on wages disappear. Taxable income may drop. Withdrawals can sometimes be timed more deliberately. This is where the window before required minimum distributions matters. The IRS says required minimum distributions from IRAs generally begin by April 1st of the year after you reach age 73. That creates a planning window for many retirees between stopping work and being forced to take withdrawals. Suppose you convert $50,000 from a traditional IRA to a Roth's. In a year, when your marginal bracket is 12%, that tax is about $6,000. If you wait and that same $50,000 comes out later, when you're in a 22% bracket, the tax is about $11,000. Same $50,000, different timing. $5,000 difference. This is why retirement planning is not only about how much you saved, it is also about when income appears on the tax return. But this is where the story needs to slow down because the math is not all comforting. There are leaks. Medicare starts at 65, but it is not free. Premiums, deductibles, prescriptions, dental vision, and supplemental coverage can become serious line items. A retirement budget that ignores healthcare is not conservative. It is incomplete. Then there is IRMAA, the Medicare surcharge that can surprise people with higher income. For 2026, Medicare lists the base threshold at $109,000 for individual filers and $218,000 for joint filers with higher premiums beginning above those levels. And the frustrating part is that IRMAA uses a look-back. A decision you make in 1 year can affect Medicare premiums later. Then there is the widow penalty. If you're married, a Social Security check may disappear after the first spouse dies, but the surviving spouse may face single-filer tax brackets, less income, less tax room, and sometimes a higher effective tax burden. That risk does not make retirement impossible. It just means the gap has to be calculated with the future in mind, not only the first good year. So the message is not, "You are fine, stop worrying." The message is sharper than that. You may be worrying about the wrong number. And when you worry about the wrong number too, bad things can happen. The obvious one is that you may think you cannot retire when you actually can. The less obvious one is that you may retire and still never give yourself permission to live. That second problem is real. You spend 20 or 30 years training your instincts in one direction. Save more. Spend less. Protect the balance. Avoid mistakes. Do not touch the principal. Do not get careless. Then retirement arrives and asks you to reverse the habit that made you successful. Now you are supposed to spend from the very account you spent decades protecting. For a disciplined saver, that can feel wrong even when the math says it is safe. You could have $2 million invested. If it earns a conservative 5% in a year, that is $100,000 of growth. If you spend $50,000, your net worth can still rise by $50,000. But emotionally, the $50,000 feels like damage. The statement may show growth, but your nervous system still sees danger. That is why some retirees get wealthier and still feel broke. Their accounts are growing, but their internal permission has not caught up. They are still managing retirement like a man standing at the edge of a cliff, even when the bridge is already built. So what do you do with this? First, calculate the gap. Not your dream number, not your old salary, not the amount some article says you should have by age 60. Your number, expected spending minus guaranteed income plus healthcare and taxes. If you expect to spend $72,000 and your guaranteed income is $38,000, your starting gap is $34,000 before the other adjustments. Add a 4% framework that points to roughly $850,000 in portfolio support, not $1,800,000. Second, build income in layers. The first layer is guaranteed income. Social Security, a pension, if you have one. Maybe an annuity, if it fits your situation. The second layer is semi-passive income. Dividends, interest, rental income, or part-time work in the early years, if that is part of your plan. The third layer is portfolio withdrawals. That third layer should not be treated as the only layer. It is the last line you draw from, not the first one you panic over. Third, control tax timing. There may be a window after work stops and before RMDs begin, where your income is lower than usual. That window can be valuable for Roth conversions, withdrawal sequencing, Social Security timing, and managing Medicare exposure. This is also where a tax professional can matter, because the right move depends on your state account mix, income, age, health coverage, and filing status. This video is education, not personal financial advice, but the principle is simple. Do not let retirement happen to you as a series of surprises. Map the flows before they start, because retirement is not the moment your money stops working. It is the moment your money changes jobs. Some dollars become income. Some dollars become protection. Some dollars become tax strategy. Some dollars become healthcare margin. And some dollars should become the life you were supposedly saving for. So maybe the real question is not whether you have enough to retire. Maybe the better question is whether you know what your money is actually being asked to do. Because if the fear is based on the wrong number, then getting the right number does more than improve the spreadsheet. It changes the way retirement feels.